community, if I was going to use one word. But I think the community involvement with the school, the student involvement within the school, and the teachers. We had caring teachers. In fact, I'd venture to say over 80% of the students were involved in some type of extracurricular activities. And the whole community turned out for the sporting events. Teachers lived in the community. In fact, I knew over half my teachers before I got to that grade. So I went to Blackshear, Kealing, and Anderson. I was gonna play basketball. My knee started bothering me. It swelled up all the time. So I had to do something. Everybody did something. So I got in the band in the 7th grade. Usually start in the 6th. I got in the 7th. But I still made the marching band in junior high school. Over at Anderson, Mr. Patterson was a character. In fact, the last time I saw him, well, one of the last times I saw him, he introduced me to music director, I think, over at St. Ed. And he told the guy, he said, "This is one of my boys." I said, "Mr. Patterson, you put me out the band." He said, "That's all right, you still one of my boys." He said, "You a good boy." He put me out because I was late for the exam. But he let me right back in. But he was a character. Anderson was so close. I knew several people that dropped out of school. And they spent their time at the school. And teachers would let them sit in classes. And a few of them came back, started going to school, and eventually graduated. So it was almost like they were your parents. You make a mistake, they'd help you out. I know Mr. Gaines, he was the principal when I was in 12th grade year, and he would go get people out of jail, students. They get in trouble, he'd go down there, talk to them, and get them out of jail. So it was really a parenting relationship between the students and the teachers. And we respected them highly. In fact, we even respected the janitors and the people in the cafeteria. That would have been a perfect job for somebody lazy. The janitor, he didn't have to sweep. He didn't have to pick up trash. Because we did it. Mr. Akins we'd walk down the hall, Mr. Akins would see a piece of trash, and he didn't say, "Pick it up." He'd say, "Help us, brother, help us." And we automatically know it's something on the floor. That we have something out of order. We have to find out what's out of order and respond to it. In fact, when he spoke at one of our class reunions, and after he got through speaking, he asked me how did I do. I said, "You did good, but you should have said help us." He said, "I forgot about that." He was surprised I still remembered. But in the cafeteria, after we got through eating, somebody left a tray, and Mr. Akins said, "Help us, brother." And even though you had a tray, you'd have to go back and get another tray. And it was just that kind of environment. All the people, all the adults, they were yes sir, or yes ma'am. And we respected them no matter what position they had. I knew it was going to pretty much destroy the community. After they closed Anderson, East Austin was never the same again. In fact, it's not even majority blacks in East Austin anymore. But when they closed Anderson, it was almost like the few black businesses that were still in business at that time, they businesses went down. The kids' behavior when they went to the white schools, they picked up bad habits, for even their manners, drugs. Drugs weren't really prevalent in East Austin back then. But from that exposure to the white community, we picked up all the bad habits. Didn't pick up very few good habits. Actually, there's black businesses almost on every corner because there was a neighborhood store in every neighborhood. And we had a lot of them up here on 12th Street and 11th Street. In fact, I had one of my great uncles had a shoe repair stand up on 11th Street. And Southern Dinette on 11th, Charlie's Playhouse. But after they closed Anderson, those businesses went downhill rapidly. But East Austin was formed, I don't know if you know the history of it, but East Austin was formed because they had these colonies all around the Central Texas area. And each neighborhood had their own school. They closed all them little small black schools and made Blackshear, Kealing, and Anderson. So the people that lived out in those rural areas, if they wanted their kids to graduate from high school, they either had to drive them into town or they had to move to town. And a lot of them moved to town to go to Anderson, which was the only high school available to them in Central Texas. So when they closed Anderson, well, that bond was no longer there in the black community. And the only possible way it could have been filled would have been the church.